Hello and welcome to Middlebury 5-0. I am your host, Officer Chris Mason, and with me in the studio today I have two guests, two fabulous guests, Susan Shashok and Robin Scheu. Welcome to the show. Or I should say, welcome back to the show.
Exactly, yes. Thank you so much.
Be here. It's wonderful.
It's
Thanks,
exciting.
Chris.
You've both been on before, and here you are again. What an endorsement.
I know.
Willing to come back.
Willing to,
Yeah.
willing to come back, and
yeah.
but with the new partners.
Yes,
in
we
it.
haven't
That's
been
right.
here
Been
together.
Yeah.
So it's a new experience
So
for you.
the team is fresh.
Yes.
So
That's right.
yeah.
And we are.
Well, I think we should start by mentioning the elephant in the room. We're
Okay.
going to talk about, and almost literally, this bike is fabulous.
Thank you very much. It's it's a Yuba cargo bike that I just got. It's my new company vehicle, and they call them long tails because it is so long. And I'm hoping to use it. You'll probably see me biking around town quite a bit.
Right.
Use it for making deliveries, working at special events, picking up supplies at the co-op and different stores around town. So
I feel like I would feel very grandiose if I was cruising along on such a vehicle.
it makes a statement, that's for sure. I don't think there's going to be missing me at all. That
And it's bright red as well.
I'm a little worried about people, just sort of, rubbernecking.
You might be slowing traffic.
Exactly. What's holding it? What's going around the roundabout? I don't know. So
the squealing of tires and crashes.
I think I'll be able to
smoothly ride through town,
That's right.
leaving the carnage behind you.
I think I'll be able to own the road through the roundabout just fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you call it Yuba? Is that its name, or
It's
does it have another
actually
name?
I did a social media contest, and it's called Caroline's Cruiser.
Okay.
Is its official title at this point, and the Madeline who won the contest on Instagram will tell you that she worked hard to come up with that. So it is definitely named Caroline's Cruiser.
Caroline's Cruiser. And your business is Caroline's Dream.
It
So I'm
is.
guessing that's no coincidence. That
It's kind of fits in that.
Kind of fits,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of fits. Yeah.
So you say you're going to be using it to make deliveries. So what is it that you deliver? What is Caroline's Dream? So
Caroline's
we're gonna
Dream.
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's great. Caroline's Dream is a handcrafted skincare company.
Okay.
I've been doing it for many years as a hobby, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm making it a full-time endeavor. So I deliver product to the co-op. We also have lip balms at Middlebury Mountaineer here, and you can also find the lip balms at the farmers market with the people who do our beeswax.
Okay.
And I pick up supplies at the co-op. I just picked up some supplies today, unfortunately not on the bike because it was a little goopy out.
It was a little goopy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like different stores around town, like Vermont Soap and
Sure.
office supplies and things.
Yeah.
So
Do you have to grapple with the bees yourself? Or is that
I don't, but
Okay.
Ross Conrad does a good job with the bees. We trust him implicitly. His beeswax makes some of the best products. So it really makes a difference, the ingredients that you have for products.
Yeah. So, Robin, you have you're a part of the bicycle story as well.
I
yeah.
am. My organization, Addison County Economic Development, last fall, we gave some what we called green energy grants out. We had asked businesses and organizations in Addison County to apply for a $500 green energy grant. We gave away 5 of them, and Caroline's Dream was one of the winners. And we were looking for impact and making a difference, and everybody had to contribute. There was a 1-to-1 match, so it had to be a project that was at least $1,000, so that the organization was putting up at least 500, and then we were so we were delighted to be able to do this project, which gets Susan on the street on a bicycle, which obviously is a green energy vehicle.
Exactly.
and she
Doesn't
was able
get
to get
lucky.
it. She was able to get it more quickly because of the grant, which is part of what we were trying to do also.
Well, it really doesn't get much greener than a bicycle.
Even though it's a red bike, it's
Wow.
pretty green. It's pretty green.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, it actually can be easily converted to an electric bike. So
Okay.
I'm hoping in the next year or two to upgrade it to be an electric bike, and then it's even kind of greener. I don't know.
Kinda
No,
greener
you'll be in
than-
such good shape
yeah.
riding this bike around. You may not need the
I might
electric
not need
cars.
it.
Yeah, you'd
I'm
be
thinking.
pretty buff after
I'm
that, yeah.
thinking I'm going to have. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's going to be some
Yeah, health benefits.
health benefits. Well, that's part of it too. Health and wellness
Exactly.
in the community.
So it really fits
Sure.
in with Susan's mission,
Yeah.
which is another thing that really excited us about making the grant.
What a great program.
Yeah, it was.
Grants that are specifically focused upon
Yeah.
green energy
Yeah.
and helping businesses develop along those
Yeah,
lines as
yeah.
well, supporting that.
And it was great, and the organizations that won, and they weren't all businesses, some were organizations, we also teamed up with Efficiency Vermont, and they have come to some of the businesses and done a walkthrough with them and helped them think about ways that they can become more energy efficient
Sure.
beyond even the project that we help fund. And,
Right.
and that's been very exciting. We've gotten feedback from some of the organizations who are in that process now. So
Great.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems very much in keeping with your
with my mission.
your business and
Yeah.
your products. And,
Yeah, well, I think that's the important part is that, you know, when you're talking about what your business is, what it means to you. We were talking about this the other day that one of my first jobs outside of college was working at Ben & Jerry's, and the Ben & Jerry's effect of social and, environmental responsibility is really
Sure.
important and really carries over to a lot of places here in Vermont. So this fits in of not just talking about health and wellness, but modeling that for the community.
Right. But I think there's more and more this is becoming a feature of the business landscape. Like it's not just about the bottom line. That's not what's drawing people into business. It's not what's fueling entrepreneurship. There's
It's the triple bottom line.
Yeah.
People,
Right.
planet, profit.
yeah.
You know, so
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have to have a profit, or you don't stay in business for
Absolutely.
very long. But
Yeah.
it's a much more holistic approach with
Sure.
thinking about people, employees, if you have them, and environmental issues as well,
Right.
and being
And
sustainable.
And this is a local business that you live in the area. Your business is rooted in. Are you working out of your own home even?
Working out of my own home.
Okay, so very.
You can't get any more. Yeah, the commute is pretty quick.
That's right.
The
Grab a cup of coffee on your way to the office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the commute for me is getting into Middlebury because I
Right.
live in East Middlebury.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, that's that sort of home business based, handcrafted. You see it all over Vermont and other places in the country now, and I think it's important.
Right. Well, I think that's definitely a part of the value. Is the business being rooted in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You create your own job,
Mhm.
which is a neat
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
And,
know?
and enrich the local community as well.
absolutely.
So that-
Exactly.
yeah.
Ta-da! And I brought with me, I almost forgot,
Yeah.
before we talk too much more, I brought
Yep.
you a peppermint lip balm.
Oh,
And I brought
gifts.
you an orange one, and I have the
Uh-huh.
maple one, and I thought we should put it on and
Uh-huh.
before we talk too much.
Good idea.
So
I'm going to be distracted though. I'm
Exactly.
going to
I'm
be
sorry.
distracted by the minty freshness.
I was
and
going to
then
say you are the minty freshness here. So there we go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I feel glamorous now.
Oh, you got a little something going on there.
Yeah, see
We-
too much.
There
I
we
got
go.
carried away. I
you
got too
did.
excited.
You're okay now.
Yeah, okay. That's one of my first experiences with lip balm.
Is
actually.
it?
Yeah.
Not a lip
yeah.
balm person?
Generally not, but
Aha,
maybe
you may have started something.
yeah,
I
maybe you
may
swayed me.
Break you in slow.
Mhm.
So it's your gateway skincare.
First one's
Sorry.
free.
Sorry, that probably wasn't good.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. I think we should just let Susan dig that hole a little deeper. I think
I'm
we should-
just gonna let that one lay on the table. Everyone will laugh and we'll walk away.
So this was a fabulous partnership. And there's another partnership
Yeah.
that's brewing, that's percolating
It-
as
it-
we speak.
It is.
This very
It is
moment.
out there as we
Right.
speak.
Yes.
So a little background.
Mm-hmm.
Susan is the first of our businesses that we have endorsed for something called a Kiva Zip loan. And Kiva Zip is a sort of sub-program of a larger organization called Kiva.org, a nonprofit that where people put in money. It's a crowdfunding lending organization, and it's international. So many people have heard of Kiva.
I've heard of Kiva.
Yeah, and not many people have heard of Kiva Zip, which is the Zip, that's the little one.
That makes me just think of the high ropes course at police academy.
Yeah, well,
Zip course,
There's no requirement to do that before.
Okay.
So,
thank goodness.
yeah.
Excellent.
I appreciate that.
Because it makes me a little sweaty when I think back to that.
Relax.
No physical
So
test.
Kiva Zip was originally designed to give very small 0% interest loans to small businesses in the United States and Kenya. And so that started as a pilot, and at the end of a couple of years they stopped the Kenya program for various reasons. I think they're more involved in the Kiva, the large Kiva program, but the United States still has the Kiva Zip program. And it's really for small businesses that aren't necessarily bankable yet. They're probably very early on. But the idea is to work with businesses who are going to have some kind of impact on the community. It's going to improve their personal lives and help their business grow and be strong. And the first loans can be as small as $500. And the highest loans can be $20,000. They might go up to $20,000 now. And the entree into this is to get endorsed by a Kiva Zip trustee, which is usually an organization that has some experience working with businesses. So I first learned about this just under a year ago. Some people were talking about this in a meeting I was at, and as soon as I heard about it, I thought, we have got to become a Kiva Zip trustee. And I also learned that there were no trustees in the state of Vermont. And so of course I wanted to be the first one too. We went through the process. I talked to my loan committee and to my board, and really we were all very excited about becoming a Kiva Zip trustee because we run some revolving loan funds and we lend money to businesses, but they tend to be larger, a little bit larger businesses. The loans tend to go from $10,000 to $100,000. So sometimes you may need a few $100s or a few $1,000s, and our programs don't work for that. And so for us, we really wanted to be able to offer a product that meets the needs of businesses that we don't normally work with. And so there aren't a lot of products for businesses like Susan's that are in that realm. Banks aren't interested in this sort of thing. Credit cards are really expensive. You had 17 to 25%. This is 0% interest. So so we invite people to apply, and then we endorse them, and there's a whole written thing we have to do about how we know, how I know personally, actually know, because we're actually really, we're endorsing the character and reputation of the person. When you make a loan to a business, it's really about a character loan to the individual who's in charge of the business. So fortunately, I've known Susan for well over 20 years. So before this role even, we've known each other. So that was an easy one. And in terms of community impact, she's a small local businesswoman in our community. She's well known. It's going to have an impact on her business and being able to sustain and grow her business. They've done barbershops, for example. It's sort of community. What are important parts of your community, businesses in your community? And Susan's a great example of that. So. So she's our very first one, and once this happens, there's a private funding section where you have to get a certain number of people to invest. It's sort of like when you do a fundraising for the Town Hall Theater. There's this silent campaign before you go public. She's in the silent campaign now. And then she'll go public.
And it's exciting. I mean, and I love the fact that it's my community that's going to be supporting, my business. I will be paying them back. It's not a donation. But they're the ones lending me the money to grow my business. And how wonderful is that?
Well, what an endorsement. Well, what an endorsement from Robin.
Exactly.
That's got to feel good. I mean, you got kind of a glow now.
I do.
Maybe it's the lip balm. I don't know.
That's our new tagline. We help people glow.
It's important, but that sort of endorsement from them and then sort of going out to the community, it feels really nice. And it sort of has, instead of just having this money, it has this sense of support for my community at the same time. And I want to do well.
Right. You feel accountable. I mean, that's part of the whole idea behind this too. Is that even online there'll be people that Susan doesn't know that may choose to donate because that's what people do, but they get a sense of who she is, and so I think you really feel accountable to all those people.
Yeah. I mean, I want to do that's the best part about this loan.
Sure.
For me, other than the money, which it could use.
Right.
But
that's a good part. That's a fringe benefit.
It's like, who needs that?
And you get money.
Sweet. But it feels really good, I don't know. And it's not that much money, so for me to have that access to something smaller, it makes all the difference.
Right. And the donations, or not donations, but the loan increments are, they can be very small.
Yep, I think the minimum is $25.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can feel good at any amount.
There you go. How much do you want to hold me accountable?
And I've heard that that Kiva has an extraordinarily high repayment rate as well.
They do.
That there is a very low default rate for Kiva loans.
I was just looking at that before I came here.
Right.
So you said the right thing.
Always nice. That always feels
the
good.
repayment rate is what I looked at today, 98.67%.
Wow.
Banks don't have that kind of repayment rate. I mean,
it's
extraordinary, and I think it's that peer lending piece that really makes a big difference, and the support that you get, because there's ongoing support. I mean, we don't want to endorse a company or a business owner that doesn't understand the impact of borrowing and what it's going to do for their business, and that we don't think is really ready to borrow money, even if it's a small amount. Not everybody's ready.
So what's the plan?
What's the plan?
You've got this.
I've got this money.
Kiva loan coming in.
Yep.
Probably people are frantically clicking on the Kiva site right
now.
Well,
I'm in the quiet mode right now, and then after a certain point it'll go public, and if I don't get all the amounts that I want, it will shut down, and I won't get the loan. So it's an all or nothing situation. But the plan is I'm doing photographs, and it will support the photographs and graphic artist work that I need to sort of redo my website.
Okay.
I'm also launching a new product, a deodorant that I've created, and I'm going to do some advertising specifically in new magazine areas, so national magazines. Okay. So it'll help sort of kickstart all of that for me, because you have to line that up now. And my busy season is September through December. So if I can get all those things lined up and in place now, then I can just concentrate on sales and selling all those places and during my busy time. So it's a different way to go about it, but it gives me a heads up where I wouldn't have normally had that. So
you mentioned that some of the outlets, some of the places where your products are available. You mentioned the Middlebury Co-op and a few other places, and it sounds like you're developing a presence online. So are there people further afield that are buying Caroline's Dream products now? Is the name getting out there?
The name is definitely getting out there. I've already had, for several years, there's an outlet that in Toronto, Canada, that sells my products. You'll notice French on the label, so it can sell in Canada.
Oh, yes. I thought that was just to make it more chic.
Oui, oui.
No, there's a practical purpose.
Practical purpose that meets the FDA laws, comparable the FDA laws in Canada, and all across the country. I mean, I've been selling internationally for several years. And just this past year, broken into the paleo world as well.
Wow!
Most of my
I've
products.
seen her in that world.
Yeah, most of my products are certified paleo, meet the requirements to be grain-free.
So explain paleo, because there may be people out there who have no idea what you're talking about.
Paleo
There's
is sort
probably
of
an image of like these Neanderthals with big
Right.
beards and clubs, and they're like, why would they be buying
Exactly.
skincare
They
products?
probably
It's
needed
great.
lip balm.
They
you know,
did.
They
Yes,
could have used
yeah.
it.
they were rather
They would
if
have been less
you're
grumpy if
Yeah.
they'd have had the...
in a cave with all that fire, you kind of need some good skincare
That's
to go
right,
with
you
it.
need to moisturize. Yeah.
Paleo, I mean, it's sort of going back to less processed foods, less
Right.
processed products, eating more like the caveman in that sense of, as close to nature as you can, but grain-free, much more hunter-gatherer kind of situation. So the products need to fit that model, but it's one of the diets and sort of lifestyles that are taking over the country right now. So
Sure.
it was my products fit in there naturally anyway. So it was definitely been fun to sort of pick up on that.
And there's a fitness component to the whole thing
Yeah.
as well. So it kind of
Right.
fits in with that whole health and
Health
wellness.
and wellness,
Right,
sort of
'cause-
being careful about the choices that you're making.
Sure. Yeah, because primitive peoples would have been healthy and well.
I
Or
was-
they're hunting and gathering.
I was going to say
Yeah.
it can get a little crazy and a little too far.
You can take it too far.
You
but-
can take it
Yeah.
as
It's a
anything.
little kooky at the fringe. So
Yeah, but
people
if
wearing their skins and
well,
Yeah.
there's people that in the community that they don't wear shoes, or they wear the shoes with just the little toes in them. Have you
The
seen those?
five
five
finger
toes?
I
toes.
have not seen those.
Yeah, no socks, but they have little spaces for each toe, so you can
Wow.
definitely.
Okay.
I couldn't go there,
No.
so
People like them in those
they
shoes.
do. They say
Yeah.
they're really comfortable.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over that each toe had its
Right.
own little space.
It's like gloves for toes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Sounds a little like that. Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Draw the line. That's
Exactly. Yeah, just really couldn't do it.
line in the sand. This far, no further.
No further.
Yeah.
Toes.
So this, I mean, Susan's business, it sounds like, and the way that you're developing your business, it sounds very much in keeping with the ethos of economic development. It
Yeah.
sounds
Well, and we approach things. We use like this economic gardening approach. Is how we
Right.
talk. Grow
Yeah.
your own,
Mhm.
literally. And
grassroots.
yeah, and local businesses. We really like to support our local businesses in any way we can, and help them get started, help them grow. There's benefits to the whole community when that happens. I mean,
Right.
there's a loyalty. There's a fabric. There's a community fabric that happens and gets richer as we grow more businesses that are here.
Right.
So it's really a pleasure to work with businesses like Susan's that are sort of in on the ground floor, and they're you feel accountable to the community, not just when you're borrowing money, but when you get to the point where you hire employees, you're going to take care of those employees because you're going to see them every day, and they're part of the community too, and they talk. So that gets back to that people, planet, profit thing, and is that if you take care of your business and the environment and your people, it's all a good thing.
Right. Which is so in contrast to how so many people conceive of economic development, which is you provide these tax incentives and you court this huge business, this big industrial kind of megalithic thing, and you manage to get them to come into your community, and they employ hundreds and hundreds of people, but then a few years down the line, they get a better offer.
Exactly.
Right.
There's
'Cause it
no
doesn't have that-
loyalty. It's not.
Right.
It's not about being part of the community in the same way that businesses that have started here with people that have grown up here or whatever. It's a
Right.
different.
So much more
different
rooted and so much more
Yeah.
resilient as well.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. We definitely struggled in the Great Recession, but we didn't struggle as much as other places where things like that happen and you're always in competition. It's a different kind of feel
Sure.
to it.
Yeah.
So
So this is a pretty exciting time.
it
It is.
It is. For the town, for the
Yeah.
businesses,
For everything.
yeah.
I mean, it does sort of have that sense of what's going to happen this year. And I think for many people, sort of post-recession of that sort of slow growth, that this year I think really is seeing a lot of businesses like mine sort of taking that leap. And to be able to do it this year, for me, it feels really good.
Right.
I'm a leapin'.
I have to say that for me, like hearing about this model of funding, there's a really, almost a revolutionary flavor to it. It has kind of dare I say, socialist kind of. I know.
Oh, what are you saying? It's community.
But it feels so of the people, you know.
It's egalitarian.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to agree. And that you know, that sense last night when they told me, okay, you're ready to go forward, I was like, okay, I have all these people that I'm going to contact and start putting it out there, and it does feel of the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring the people.
And that's so radically different from the traditional model, where you would court a big bank and you'd be talking about big sums of money
and I did have to go through, I mean, I put together a whole business plan. You checked over all my financials. I had to go through a process that was similar, but then we get to do something a little more fun and instead.
And it was a good process for you, right? It made
Very
you think about
good.
things.
Oh, yeah.
Business planning is a good thing.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard to sort of look at yourself that way and sort of find your strengths and weaknesses and put them all on paper and then have somebody look at them.
I would imagine.
A little traumatic, but it turned out well. But it's good. It's good to think about that. And you were saying that if you're going to grow, you have to really think about how you're going to do that, and it did. So, yeah,
In a good place.
in a good place.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's been so delightful.
It always goes so fast. Thanks for
Oh, like
having
what
us.
happened?
I just before we leave though, I wanted to mention you're on the select board.
I
Very
am.
select board.
I am.
We could do a whole show about
We could.
the select board. We just had an election
Yes.
just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And there's more women on the select board now than men.
There is.
But what, the first time in the entire history of Middlebury, I'm guessing?
We are actually, you know, reflecting the community of more women than men on there. Yeah. So more power to us.
Right.
You know, I think we're in a place where we really reflect the community around us.
Yeah.
It's a great. Sorry, I love that.
Yeah. I love that too.
Good.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
Yay!
I mean, they were all fabulous qualified candidates.
Oh yeah, and I don't mean to undercut anybody else.
for sure,
So
but-
it's just to have that sort of numbers to actually reflect is neat. But thank you for noticing.
I did notice.
Yeah.
I did notice. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Such a pleasure.
Thank you for
Great
having
to have you,
us.
Susan and Robin. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yay.
Chris. This is great.
So until next time, drive safe, whatever your mode of transportation, and may all your mischief be of the lawful persuasion.